Hello, happy Thursday. It is Rachel Trout here, and I am excited to share a card class with you today. I apologize for being a few minutes late if you are trying to catch me live on Facebook. I think if you've been around here long enough, you know how that goes. Right now, I am trying to catch up and also work ahead at the same time. So if that sounds ridiculous to you, it's making my brain hurt a little bit. I'm trying to work ahead for summer right now. So I am playing with a bunch of new products. I filmed another video this morning and it is for way in the future. So working on things that are right now, I'm catching up on sending things out, but I'm also working way ahead. So there is a lot going on in life, not to mention all the family stuff. It is about to be super busy here with end of the school year type things. So life is crazy, but crafting helps tame down the crazy, right? Hi, Joan. I see you here live. Thank you for joining me. If you are joining in later, please let me know you're here and that you're watching. I love to know that. We have a lot to get to today, and like I said, I filmed another video this morning and I forgot to charge my phone in between. So I'm going to try and keep things moving so I don't run out of battery in the middle of our video today. But today we're using the Storybook Moments Suite Collection. This suite of products has so many things in it. You could probably keep making cards for weeks. I am just touching the surface of these products today. There are so many stamps. There's 2 designer series papers. There's ribbon, embellishments. It is a really awesome suite of products. Joan says she's going on spring break next week. Are you going anywhere exciting, Joan? Maybe someplace warm? It is heating up here. The last few days have been windy and in the 60s, but next week is supposed to be 100. So I will enjoy the cooler weather while it lasts. All right, I'm going to flip the camera down so we can get started. I always draw winners from the comments on my videos every week to send the cards I'm making. So if you would like a chance to win one of the 3 cards I make today, please interact in the comments. And I usually draw those winners on Monday, so you have some time to watch the replay if you are not making it live. Speaking of the cards we make today, if you would like the card kit for the 3 cards that we make today, you just need to shop with me now through Tuesday. And if your order is over $50 before tax and shipping, you will get a card kit to make the 3 cards that we make today. And when I'm done in the description, I will put a suggested list of things to add to your order with some of the item numbers from things that we're using here today in case you don't already own this suite. So I will do that shortly after I'm done here. But let's take a look at this suite. So this is a humongous suite of products. Sometimes we call it a mega suite. So it has 2 stamp and die bundles. Let me see if I can match them up here. This is the Storybook Garden Patch bundle. So this one is a lot of fun. It has all of your vegetables, your gardening tools, this little mound of dirt here. These cut out slits in your cardstock so you can actually tuck the carrots in, and I think that is really cute. You've got, this is a detailed carrot top, and then your watering can. You've got 2 pieces so you can do like a shadow. Same thing with the stack of pots there. So really fun, especially if you like to garden. And then this one, the Storybook Friends bundle, is all of your little like garden animals, bunnies, squirrels. Is this a hedgehog? I don't even know. But it's really cute. And then you've got the sentiments in this one. So you notice that in the other stamp set, there are no sentiments. So you can mix and match and pair the stamps together. And look at this. There's 17 stamps in this stamp set. There's 10 in the other one. So that is 27 stamps to play with, which is crazy. Okay, and then the dies in this one, look at these. You've got 3 framed dies. The cool thing about these is that it cuts the frame and then it cuts the center. So you can put together different colors, and all 3 of them are like that. And then you've got the solid cutouts for all of the little garden friends. Isn't that cute? Love, love, love this suite. It has been a really popular one too. I think the 12 by 12 designer series paper, I think, is on our low inventory list right now. The plaid paper might have gone out of stock for a while, but it's in right now. So it's been really popular. This is the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper. It's 6 by 6, and you've got lots of pretty plaids. These are great for masculine cards, as well as working with this bundle, but they're perfect for masculine cards if you are thinking ahead to Father's Day. This 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, it's called Storybook Moments Specialty Paper, and it's a specialty paper because it has some die cuts. So I'm going to take it out and show you real quick. This is my favorite pattern right here, the strawberries. My oldest daughter loved strawberries when she was younger. Not even just eating them, but she had a pair of pajamas that had strawberries on them. And long after they stopped fitting her, she still slept with the pajama shirt because she loved the strawberries. You could use some of those frame dies to cut out these little seams in the paper, which is lots of fun. We've got all of our gardening tools. Wild wheat. Is anyone a lover of wild wheat? Not me, but I'll probably be using this side. I love this pattern. I think it is so pretty. You've got more little creatures here, and I actually haven't checked, but I think the dies will cut out some of them. Like maybe if they're not holding or pulling extra things. This one maybe for sure. I haven't checked though. There's another one of those. Yep, that's the other strawberry one. Look at all the vegetables. Okay, here are some like house scenes with the little garden. These you could cut out with the frames too for a nice background. More of the little critters. Okay, and then this is why it's a specialty paper, because you've got a whole sheet of die cuts and you get 2 sheets of those. So you can use those. I didn't use any on my cards today because that's hard to send out in card kits when there's only 2 of them in the package, right? And then this page is really cool too. They've been doing more papers like this where you can cut these apart and you have ready-made card fronts and pieces for your cards. And then you've got a nice, I think that's Old Olive maybe, pattern on the back. So lots and lots of things to love in this sweet collection. I know I've had customers just buy the whole thing because they love it. I bought it piece by piece, but ended up getting the whole thing eventually. You can do it either way. This suite also has an embellishment that we're going to be using on our cards today. These are called Antique Pearls. And then the ribbon in this suite is currently out of stock, but it is sticking around. It's expected back in the week of May 12th. So I used this on my sample cards today because I wanted to show it to you. It is petal pink and it has a scalloped edge. It's really pretty. But if you don't already have some, since it's out of stock, you can substitute this petal pink ribbon. This is part of a combo pack. It comes with a white ribbon also. I will say though, this combo pack is on our low inventory list right now. So if you want this one, get it quick. I think this one is carrying over too. I don't think it's last chance. So if it does go out of stock, it'll be back. The other ribbon that I would recommend using is our basic beige bordered ribbon. Would go really well with these cards too. So you have options, and of course any white ribbon, you know, white goes with everything. So you have choices. Okay, let's get to our first card. This one, I use the boho blue ink and boho blue paper. Sadly, boho blue, I think, was a favorite of the outgoing in colors. The ink pad is already gone, and I think the cardstock is too, although that has not showed up on our discontinued list yet, but it's not in the store anymore. So I think it's gone. I have enough to send quite a few card kits. So you could substitute ink on this one. You could use Misty Moonlight or Night of Navy, or you could use the Pecan Pie. Lots of different coordinating colors. But I made this card before it went out of stock. So boho blue, I think, was probably my favorite of the outgoing in colors also. All right, for this card, we have a boho blue card base. It is 8.5 by 5.5, and we are going to fold it in half. And then I have a piece of the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper. We're going to mix the two Designer Series papers on this card today. So this piece measures 2 by 4 1/4. And we're just going to adhere that to our card base, kind of across the top. Then I have a piece of the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. This one is kind of just a fun background with all the gardening tools. This piece is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then I cut another piece of the plaid paper that is 2 by 3 1/2. So we're going to layer, well, you know what? I should add the other piece first. Then I will make sure to line it up correctly. So this piece we're going to add with dimensionals. And then we will add that other plaid piece. That dimensional backing is sticking to my finger. Oh my goodness. Throwing paper around. Okay, so you can center that, and then this plaid piece you want to line up with the other plaid piece that's underneath it. So isn't that kind of cool? It just gives it a little bit of dimension. Okay, next we have some pieces that I've die cut with the Storybook Garden Patch dies, I think. The first ones I showed you. So this is the pot, and there are 2 different pieces. You can do the stamping on here, or you can just layer the pots, and that's what we're going to do today. So I have a piece of scrap paper. These are cut out of pecan pie, and we're just going to add a little bit of pecan pie ink with our blending brush. Now you can totally skip this part if you want to, but it adds a little dimension to your pots. So I'm just going to pick up some ink with my blending brush here. And we're just going to add a little bit of ink here to the edges of our pots. And then we'll do the same thing here. And I'm going to stick mostly to the edges on this one. Just gives it a little bit more dimension. We're actually going to use a blending brush on our 3rd card today too. So I had those out. Did we use them last week? I don't remember. But yes, we did, because we did the Thankful Garden bundle last week. I cannot keep straight what day it is or when I did what, because if you were here at the beginning, oh, I forgot to bring my glue in. All right, well, we will make do with our Stampin' Seal. I looked at my cards and I was like, I don't need any glue for these. But yes, I would recommend the green glue. I'm going to fold over my Stampin' Seal Plus so it doesn't show, and it'll stick well enough, I think. But glue would be the best for this, or you could use adhesive sheets if you remember ahead of time. Okay, so that gets layered on the pot, and it sticks a lot better if you use your glue, but that's all right. Okay. And this we're going to add to our card with dimensionals also. And it can kind of sit right here. So if you want, you can put it up higher, but we're going to put lettuce in the top. So it kind of gets centered, you know, over the top and bottom of that plaid piece. Okay, next we have a piece of Old Olive, and we're going to stamp the lettuce twice, and we're going to use Old Olive ink on the Old Olive cardstock. And I see Laura is here now. Hi, Laura. Thank you for joining me today. Now that Arizona's back on Pacific time, all of you Eastern time people were 3 hours apart. I have, my brother's family lives in Florida, and I have several friends that live in Florida. And Eastern time is just a long time away from us. It's like the middle of the late afternoon there. Okay, next we're going to stamp the pitchfork in our Memento black ink. on a piece of white. If you like to color, this bundle is also good for that, because there's lots of opportunities to color. Okay, let's see. I have a whole stack of Stampin' Blends over here on the side, so let me grab the ones I used for this. I used Crumb Cake and Smoky Slate for this, so I think I just did light Crumb Cake for the handle. And then we did Smoky Slate for the pitchfork. And I think I tried to do a little bit of shading, but you know, it's pretty small, so if you just want to color it and you don't want to do any shading, you don't have to, because really it's so narrow, it's kind of hard to do shading, but I'll attempt it. And you definitely want to use the pen tip when you are coloring this, because it is tiny. Unless you are more talented than I am positive I would go outside of the lines if I tried to use the brush tip on these images. Okay, now we're going to grab our dies so we can die cut our lettuce and our little pitchfork here. So let me get the correct set of dies here. We need this one here, and then the lettuce we'll have to run through twice. All right, I don't know if these, oh, maybe they'll fit side by side. Let's see here. See if I can get them lined up. Oh, look at that. My thumb is bleeding, guys. I should have put a Band-Aid on because it keeps cracking in that spot, but makes it a lot harder to tie bows if you have a Band-Aid on. I guess I should have gotten the Band-Aid. Oh no, my pitchfork's moving. Okay, let's fix him. No. Maybe I'll take him off for now. We'll run the lettuce and then we'll try the pitchfork again. It sounded like a lot of you are having busy weeks too. I posted yesterday about doing all the things yesterday, and some of you sounded like you had busy weeks too. Doing housework, which is, you know, it's a necessary evil, right? Some of you were doing laundry, running errands. I had to, well, actually, I haven't done much laundry this week. I should probably work on that. But running errands, I was busy doing that yesterday. And I think Joan said she was baking bread yesterday. I am in the middle of baking bread today. After I'm done with my video here, I need to put it in the oven. What kind of bread do you like to bake, Joan? Just like sandwich bread, or are you baking something else? If you're still here watching. I am just making sandwich bread today. But my neighbor gave me a sourdough starter. Oh my, I totally ruined that. Well, maybe not too bad. I cut off the edge a little. That's what I get for talking and trying to die cut at the same time. Anyways, my neighbor gave me a sourdough starter, and I think I'm going to attempt that. We will see. She gave us a loaf a while back, and it was delicious. And my kids are like, you need to make that, Mom. So I need to do a little more research first. All right, I'm going to put the pitchfork here. A Rhodes loaf. Oh, like the Rhodes dinner rolls. Is that what you're talking about? I mean, you're making a loaf of bread, but those are really yummy, the rolls. Do you have a foolproof recipe, Joan? I really like, I get a lot of recipes from this site called Mel's Kitchen Cafe, and that is where my bread recipe is from too. All right, and see how I kind of tucked the edge of that lettuce into the pot? And then we have a little white strip here. This is 1/2 inch by 1 3/4. And I'm going to use my boho blue ink, but if you don't have boho blue, you're out of luck. So you could use Misty Moonlight here too, or one of the other colors. And we're using the Hello Friend sentiment from the Storybook Friends set. And I'm going to stamp on the right side because I'm going to tuck the end underneath our other things over there, underneath our pot. Okay, and this can just be flat, so I'll use my Stampin' Seal. Tuck that under, kind of in the middle of the plaid paper. And then we need to finish off with some ribbon, and I'm just going to use this one for my cards so you can see what this one looks like too. This is also Petal Pink, and it is part of a combo pack. Now, the white ribbon in this combo pack I have used completely up, except for one small piece. So I should use the Petal Pink before I buy another pack of it, right? I think I did swap cards with the other ribbon, though. That's probably part of the reason why I ran out. All right, where did I hide my glue dots? I feel like I put them underneath something, and I don't know what I did with them. Man, I am losing it today. Last week, I think I had everything in here, but not today. All right, well, Stampin' Seal is going to go to our rescue again, and we'll add our ribbon there. And then a few of our antique pearls to finish it off. These are really, really pretty. They're kind of like a cross between, you know, they're bigger than regular pearls and they're flatter, but they kind of remind me of the pearls that are like the, I don't know what they're called, but they're like this. I use them with the Seaside Wishes set. I forget what those are called. They have more of a different shape. They're not completely round, but they remind me of like the shimmer of those. So there is our first card. Oh, thank you, Joan. I'm glad you love this card. This one, I copied a layout from Erica Serwin that was part of the creative convention I attended. So I thought that was really cool how she used the same designer series paper and just popped it up in this part. So I used kind of the same layout but different papers. So I thought that one was super cute too. All right, I'm going to tuck that in an envelope to give to one of you who is commenting. And we are going to move on to our second card. This one, I copied the layout kind of from Ange McKay. So I belong to a membership site where there's like different tutorials and stuff all month long. And this was one that Ange McKay did. She had more bunnies and stuff, but I decided to use this guy because he was really cute, and I had to use the strawberry paper because I love it. That's my favorite pattern of the paper. So for this one, we have a crumb cake card base, 5.5 by 8.5. And then I have another piece of crumb cake. Now, if you wanted, you could just emboss the front of your card. But I like it so that when you open it, it's flat. So I just did a second piece of crumb cake. That was 4.25 by 5.5, the same size as my card front. And this one is embossed with the exposed brick embossing folder. And I think this embossing folder is perfect for this suite because it kind of reminds me of like the old garden walls, and there's even a stamp in the one set that is like the little garden wall. So I think this is a perfect match. Then I have a piece of Night of Navy that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, and the designer series paper is 3 by 4. So we are going to layer those together and then add to our card all flat. I really like how the Night of Navy just makes it pop. So pretty. Okay, then I have used one of those frame dies, and I cut it out in Night of Navy and in basic white. So that's what I was saying. The frames actually cut out 2 pieces, and then you could use the Night of Navy, or you could just use the frame, or you can cut it out in 2 different colors and kind of match them together. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment on this one. Some Bunny Loves You. Isn't that cute? In Night of Navy ink. And we are just going to stamp that on the bottom. Okay, and then to attach this to our card, I think I've showed you this trick before. You could glue the frame and then put the center in. But if you don't want to mess with the green glue, and you all know I don't, right? You can use your dimensional, since that's how we're attaching it anyways. And you just kind of put it so that it's partway over the frame and partway over the other piece. And then they're layered together, and you don't have to use the glue. So if you don't like the glue like me, there's a little trick for you. Okay, so we're going to center that here. And then we have a little piece to stamp our bunny. So I'm going to get my Memento Black out again. Stamp this guy. I think he is so cute with his little bow tie. Now you can make his little bow tie whatever color you want. I decided that I was going to do cherry cobbler to kind of play off the color of the strawberries, but you could do one of the blues also. So I'm going to color the bunny with my crumb cake Stampin' Blends. And again, I am using the pen tip because I do not want to go out of the lines too much. And so to color him, I just kind of followed, you know, where the lines are in the stamp, like to show his fur. I thought that is a good place to kind of put some shadows. And then I wanted to leave his tummy a lighter color and these two parts of his face a lighter color. So I thought, I'm not going to mix colors here. We have some of our, like our skin tone Stampin' Blends that are more like ivory. That would be a good color for his tummy too if you wanted to go even lighter. But I'm just going to do a little bit with the dark and then come back in and finish it off with the light. Oh, thank you, Joan. I'm glad you think this one is cute too. I just think the strawberries make it super cute. And like I said, you could probably create with this suite for weeks because there's so many different stamps, so many papers. I mean, think of all the combinations you could have of these cute little animals. I am barely scratching the surface today, but I don't know. This is a really fun one. And if you are into scrapbooking at all, there is also a scrapbooking workshop kit that coordinates with this suite. I was hoping to have it put together so that I could show you later this week, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But our scrapbooking workshop kits are really awesome. They include product to make 3 2-page layouts, so 6 pages all together. And everything is there for you. They give you cutting instructions, so you're cutting everything, but you have extra paper left over. It tells you right where to put the pictures, what sizes you need. I love them. I started out scrapbooking and I've kind of gotten away from it, and they are helping me get back into it. Okay, I'm using my dark petal pink here. You could use your light petal pink too for his ears. My light petal pink has about bit the dust. So and when you watch my video that I filmed this morning, you know, like a month and a half from now, you will see I used it and it's, yep, that was about it for it. Okay, I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler for his bow. And I'm just going to do a little bit of the dark in the center, and then we will finish with the light. Now this is small enough, you could just choose one or the other to color if you want. But I figure since you get the set of 2, you might as well add a little bit of dark, just like that. Okay, I am going to get my Storybook Friends dies and find the one for this little guy. Here we go, and let's get him cut out. I love that there are dies to cut all these little critters out because, well, I don't mind fussy cutting. It is nice to not have to, right? And I know some people really do not like fussy cutting, so when the dies do the work, that is nice. Okay, got our little bunny here. I'm trying not to let my bleeding thumb get all over my card. Okay, we are going to add him with some more dimensionals. Just like that. And look, you can still see that I didn't want to cover up that fancy top. I thought about putting the ribbon up there, but I think that's so pretty, so I didn't want to cover that up. Okay, so whatever ribbon you are using, you can tie a bow, and we're going to put it at the bottom. I will say this ribbon is a little bit stiffer than the one that comes in the suite, the scalloped ribbon, but it ties nicely too. Now, if you are going in and you want to order the products in this suite, because the ribbon is not available right now, you cannot order the whole suite collection. You have to order all the parts separately. But the ribbon is the only thing that is out of stock currently. This designer series paper, the larger one, is low inventory, so it may go out of stock, just so you know. But we have a section in our online store where you can shop by product suites. And if you go to that section, you can click on this product suite, and then it will show you all of the products separately so you can order them. Let's see. Do I know if this set will be staying? You know what, Joan? I will have to check. I don't know. They started doing our last chance products differently. So the easiest way to check is if you look up these bundles in the online store, the Storybook Garden Patch and the Storybook Friends. If you just type those in the search bar, if it says last chance next to it, then it's retiring. And if it doesn't, then it's sticking around. So I should have checked that because, you know what, I'm just not used to this new way of doing things. They used to give us a list, and I mean, they kind of give us a list now. I don't know. I'm still getting used to how they're doing it. So I should have double checked that before I came live, because that is a very good question. Are they sticking around? And you know what? If they are not, they may be discounted. I didn't even check that either. So on Tuesday, when they added all of the new last chance things, the first Tuesday of the month, I help run a mom group at my church. And so Stampin' Up likes to do things on the first Tuesday of the month, and that never works out very well for me because I'm busy at church. So I have not had a chance to fully look through everything yet, but I will definitely double check. Okay, there is our second card. I think this one is my favorite today. So you'll have to let me know at the end what your favorite is. We will tuck that one away and go on to our third card. And my phone has not alerted me yet that we are low on battery, so we're doing good. I bet it's going to during this one, though. All right, this one I cased from Allison Okamitsu, I think is how you say her name. She's a former Artisan design team member. And I was saving ideas for inspiration for cards, and so I almost copied hers exactly. I thought it was really cute. So we're going to use the blending brush again, and she did some clouds on hers. I think she used like cloud dyes and used it like a stencil, so that is cute if you wanted to add even more to your background. But I was trying to keep it a little bit simpler, so we wouldn't be here for hours, right? Then you can get to your own crafting instead of just watching me. So this one, we're going to start with a thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and fold it in half. And then we have a piece of the Timeless Plaid paper, and this measures the same as our card front, 4.25 by 5.5. There you've got some more wild wheat. No one chimed in and said that they love wild wheat, so I will just assume that you are like me. And it's not your favorite color. So I don't mind it in this pattern, but probably won't choose to put a whole background of wild wheat on. Let's just say that. Okay, then I have a basic beige piece that I've cut with the perennial postage dies. And we are going to add that with some dimensionals. I love the perennial postage dies. I think I did check those and they are sticking around, which is awesome because I love them. You know what, Joan? I was checking things that I really wanted to stay, so I didn't. Okay, Joan checked. It doesn't say last chance, so that means they are sticking around for now. So how it works is every other month they move new products into the last chance section of the store. So at least until, let's see, it's April, so June will be the next time when new items are added to the last chance. So it may go there then, but for now, it's okay. Awesome. Okay, this stamp is from the Storybook Friends stamp set. And it's just like a little garden scene. There, like I said, there are so many things you can do with these stamps. You can build scenes. You can do simpler things with the die cuts. We are going to stamp. I probably did this too far up. You know what? I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put it closer to the bottom. Oh, there goes the battery. So I have 15% left. So that's not too bad. I started with 38%. So we should make it. Although, you know what? It always seems to go faster at the end. Okay. I am going to use Azure Afternoon ink for my sky. I think this blue really pops against the background of that plaid. And I'm just using my blending brush. You want to start off your paper. Otherwise, sometimes you get that harsh ink, you know, when you start and you don't want that. And you can keep blending. I'm going to go down most of the way. And then we'll add more at the top. So it's darker at the top, lighter towards the bottom. And you can always pick up more ink, but I recommend you start off because you get kind of that harsh blue and you don't want that on your card. You just want nice, smooth ink. And the more you blend, if you do get some of that harshness, you can usually blend some of it out by adding more ink or continuing to blend until you get it how you want. Some of ours is going to get covered up anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Excuse me. You can use any blue you would like for the sky. Okay, then we need to do a little bit of coloring on here. So we are going to grab our crumb cake again and do crumb cake for our dirt. And I'm just going to kind of go along where the lines are in the dirt, and maybe these are little rocks, and do my dark crumb cake there, and then we will just fill it in with our light crumb cake. With scene building stamps like this, I feel like I always need to look at other people's samples first and copy what they do, and then I kind of get inspired and able to create my own designs. And if you're shopping in the online store, looking in our catalogs, there's always pictures with sample projects that the concept artists have made. And I like using those too, just kind of as a starting point so you know what to do with the stamps, what to do with the dies. Excuse me. Where to put your shading when you color, right? That's probably what I use their samples for the most. And again, I'm just using the pen tip because there's lots of little areas to go in between here. So there we go. And you can go all the way down to the bottom of your cardstock or leave a little white. Doesn't really matter too much. Okay, then we are going to grab our Old Olive blends. I'm just using the dark on the leaves that have that little line in the middle, and then we'll use the light to finish coloring them. And I think my battery should be good, but if I happen to disappear, it is because the battery died. but I think we should be able to get this card done. All right, and then I have pumpkin pie for the carrots, and I'm just using my light pumpkin pie to color those little carrot tops. Okay, so now we have that scenery piece done. We're going to adhere that to our postage stamp here. Like that. And this piece, I think I forgot to say, the white measures 3 by 4 1/4, and that fits right into that postage die with just the little border, which is nice. Okay, we have a piece here to stamp our 2 bunnies. We have one who is holding the turnip and one who is holding the lettuce. Oh, thank you, Joan. I am glad you like them, and I hope it inspires you to create with this suite. Do you have this one, Joan? I am glad to hear it is sticking around, because then we can keep stamping with it all spring. Although in Arizona, spring is pretty much done now. We're going to get hot real fast here. Okay, I'm going to bring my crumb cake back in for the bunnies. And just like on that second card, I'm starting with my dark. And there's less of the bunny to color on this one because he is wearing a shirt. But we will still color a little bit of dark here. And let's see on this guy. Same thing, he has his overalls, so we don't need to color quite as much of him. Let's see. Just kind of sticking along where those fur lines are again. And then we will finish up with the light crumb cake. Oh, Joan says her nephews live in Phoenix. Yep, it is. I love living here. I would take the hot over the cold any day. But I will say, at the end of our summer, you know, in October when it's still 100 degrees, then that is the time when you're wishing it would be less hot. But for most of the year, it is pretty nice. And I do not miss snow. I've lived in all different parts of the country, so I've experienced all different types of weather, and I don't know, I will take Arizona. Of all the places I've lived, this is the most years I've spent most years in Arizona. Okay, I am going to get my dark petal pink and color their ears again. And then we will do Night of Navy for this guy's overalls. And it turned out super dark. I'm not sure. I was looking at the card Allison did. Maybe she used Azure Afternoon for his pants, or Misty Moonlight is a little bit lighter. Or if you have Boho Blue, you could use that too. The Night of Navy was a little dark, but I think it ended up looking okay. So I used mostly the light Night of Navy. But I suppose Azure Afternoon would work because that would match the color of the sky. So in hindsight, maybe I should have used that, but that's okay. We are going to use Old Olive for the lettuce. And just like with the dirt, I'm just going to kind of color those lines with the dark, and then we will fill in with the light. Okay, while I have that out, I'm going to do his little turnip top. Now, I'm not sure what color turnips are, but for today, I mean, maybe Cajun Craze or Cherry Cobbler, but I did his little jacket Cherry Cobbler. So I made the little turnip pumpkin pie. I don't think that's actually the color of it, but you know what? On a card, a handmade card, it can be any color that you want, right? So today our turnip is orange. Can't say that I have ever eaten a turnip, so I don't know. Don't grow those in my garden. We're going to color his pockets and elbows with the dark cherry cobbler. Oh, my light one is stuck. Let's see if I can get it open. Probably not with my bleeding thumb. Okay. Maybe I will see. Oh, the brush end opens much easier. That brush is totally not good. I think I've used that brush maybe to color gems or something, and that roughs them up quite a bit. Oh my goodness. All right. Has this ever happened to your marker? That's why it was stuck. You know what? Maybe because my battery is running out. Wow, that made a mess too. All right, we're just going to cut him out, and I will have to fix that later when my thumb is not bleeding. You'll get the idea. I will finish coloring him later. But if I try and work on that now, we will definitely run out of battery. Oh, I'm grabbing the wrong bunny here. Okay, so we're going to line these up. And I think I stamped them just far enough apart that I can die cut both at the same time, which is great. So we'll run those through. That does not happen very often to me with my Stampin' Blends markers, but I have a few that have gotten stuck like that, and you can usually pry them and put them back together, you know, the right way, but I'm not going to attempt that right now. Okay, that really splattered all over the place though. I don't think it's that noticeable there, but it definitely got on my glass mat. Okay, we are going to add these bunnies with some dimensionals. So he's going to be kind of standing on top of this little hill there. And then this guy is going to be standing down here. He'll look much better when his sweater is colored. All right, and then we are using our Happy Spring sentiment from the Storybook Friends bundle. And this piece of white is 5/8 of an inch by 2. And then we're just going to fold a little piece of the ribbon behind there. Find my scissors here. And for this, I like to lay down a little bit of Stampin' Seal. This is actually what I usually do, even when I have my mini glue dots, to help hold it in place. And I might trim a little bit more off of that. We don't need a super big piece here, because the sentiment is not that large. Okay, so that kind of holds it partly in place. And then I put a few dimensionals on the back of my sentiment, and that'll help it finish staying down. Okay, over the top there. Let's see. I just didn't want it lined up exactly with the edge of any of those things. So I think on this one I had it hanging over a little. I kind of like it like that. All right, and then we will finish off with a few of our antique pearls. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, things like pearls don't usually just, you know, hang out in the sky, but on a handmade card, they look nice, don't they? All right, so there is our last card, and I'll finish coloring that one before I send it off to one of you. All right, so here are the 3 cards we made today. I hope you love them. If you would like the card kit, you can shop now through Tuesday using the shopping link in the description. I will go ahead and add that here shortly. And you need to spend more than $50 before tax and shipping to get the card kit. Thank you for watching and joining me today, and I will see you again next week. Bye.